I like sex with my woman. So I'm gonna go chlorine gas my woman. I told him he's an ass for holding on to a grudge and putting money in the way of my family relationship. The cruise to Mexico isn't some millionaire trip.
But I did the math and it's $60,000 that this cruise is. So 70K for you, only 70K for me.
Okay, so here's the thing. I have this semi-nice, not really nice, cost me like $50 on Amazon. Mic, it sounds pretty good. The thing about that is I have to record it separately on my computer from the video that I take, and I have no idea what I'm doing, so it means that it leads to a lot of audio sync issues, which leads to like hours more editing and just a big headache. So what I'm gonna try to do, because I use my mic and then I edit it and enhance it with the Adobe Podcast AI. I'm just gonna see if I can record it on my phone and see how that works. Also, I'm going to be recording some things in batch. So yes, I'm going to be wearing the same things in 1 or 2 or 3 videos. It's just so that I can have a backlog of stuff that I can edit over time. So yeah, bear with us here. Anyway, with that preamble out of the way, hello, I'm Des. This is I Read It Somewhere. This is a channel where I talk about and react to whatever my brain rot leads me to on the internet. Now, I don't have a set, but I do have unfettered internet access. So today we are going to be looking at Am I the Devil on Reddit. Am I the asshole for telling my brother-in-law to get over himself and quit holding a 10-year-old's grudge? I think I'm already biased against OP, not because of where he ended up on the internet, but because I hold grudges like a motherfucker and they're almost always justified. My brother-in-law, married to my sister, is a general contractor. About 10 years ago, my dad and brother were building a deck at my parents' home. They asked my brother-in-law if they could borrow his skid loader, but he said no. I have to know what type you're asking for because I worked in a warehouse before, and are you talking about the little pumpy ones, which I've never heard been called a skid loader, or are you talking about the powered ones, like the forklifts? Because one of those you need a license for, and both of them are expensive. They prepared the ground as best they could without the skid loader.
So I am confusion.
Do I need to Google this? 1 second. Alright, yeah, no, obviously you can't just borrow that piece of equipment. Are you bonkers? Do you just ask people to borrow dump trucks and like cranes and stuff too? That's not normal. You can't just ask for that. You can pay your contractor brother-in-law to do it because he's certified, but you can't just be like, yes, give me this heavy equipment that is extremely expensive and you need like a lot of insurance. That would be stupid. They prepared the ground as best they could without the skid loader, but got to a point where they couldn't go without it. They went to my sister's house to ask again, but found out brother-in-law went out of town. They talked my sister into letting them borrow it, so she took them down to his construction lot and they hooked it up to his dad's truck. Are you insane? Are you insane? Also, the sister, my guy, because your husband said no, and he had probably a very logical reason, which is expensive, heavy machinery should not be given to random people, you know? And you went, yes, he already said no, but I'm gonna go behind his back and do it anyway? So people have no respect for anyone. This next part I'm not sure of since I don't know much about towing, but from what I was told, Dad's truck wasn't big enough or powerful enough to tow the skid loader on the dump trailer, so he lost control and wrecked. Wow. It's almost as if you need specialized equipment to haul specialized equipment, and someone who is trained to use the specialized equipment to use a move. This is why you're on Am I the Devil. The truck, trailer, and skid loader were totaled. The insurance was barely enough to cover the medical costs and the truck. There was none left over to cover brother-in-law's stuff. Shouldn't the insurance have gone directly to the brother-in-law's stuff before the medical stuff? How does that work? How does that work? Because you just took this guy's and you stole his and then you ruined his but the insurance is going to your medical bills? When he got back to town, he exploded, for good reason. He threatened to sue, and things just went downhill from there. He shouldn't have threatened, he should have just sued you. My parents are not rich, and he wouldn't have gotten anything. So in the end, sister talked him into letting it go. I'm seeing a common problem here. And it's not your stupidity or entitlement. It is the sister. However, from that day on, he wouldn't have anything to do with our family for good reason. For good reason. Are you surprised? He doesn't come for birthdays, holidays, nothing at all. Next month's our parents' 50th anniversary, and we're planning a big family gathering to celebrate. We're also chipping in to send our parents on a cruise to Mexico because they've never been out of the country. What's his brother-in-law have to do with this? I spoke to sister about it the other day, and she said she's coming with the kids, but brother-in-law is not coming. I was fine with that, but when we were discussing their portion of the cruise money, I heard him yelling in the background to deduct their portion of the cost of the skid loader and the dump trailer. That me off. So after my call with sister, I called brother-in-law and told him to get over himself. I told him my father and brother made a mistake, but that was 10 years ago and he needs to let it go. Do you not understand how expensive those things are? And you want to take more money from him? He drew a very firm boundary, and that is, I'm not with your family anymore, sweetie, okay? I said no, you ignored my no, you went behind my back, and then immediately ruined my stuff, and then did not pay me back, did not apologize, told me to get over myself, and spent the insurance money on the medical bills as if that was the priority. And I'm sorry, this may seem mean, but in my core, I am a hater. And also, the father was clearly okay? He wasn't dead. He wasn't in a coma. So that money should have been put somewhere else. That should have been their burden for their stupidity. It's called the stupid tax for a reason. How did these people get out of paying the stupid tax? He said he'll let it go when they give them the money he lost. I told him he's an ass for holding on to a grudge and putting money in the way of my family relationship. You don't care about the family relationship. You don't care. All you want is money so that you can send your entitled parents on a cruise. They already got a free ride to the hospital is what I'm saying. I don't think they need anything more. Sister called me a few minutes ago and said they're not coming and that I was out of line. We argued for a bit, and that's where it stands. I don't think I'm wrong for telling him to let go of the past, but they're not coming to the anniversary party now, so I'm not sure. You don't care that they're not coming to the anniversary party. You care that you might have to chip in a little bit to send your parents on a cruise. That's all you care about. I would feel horrible if I had done what you did, and I'd be doing everything I could to pay the guy back. But not only did you not pay the guy back, not apologize, but constantly be like, actually, you're the problem. I stole from you. I ruined your stuff. I got hurt while stealing your stuff, but you're the problem.
Let's be clear. I did absolutely nothing wrong. I'm not to blame. It's not my fault.
Answers to your questions. Let's get something straight. You are not starting off with a good tone there. Let's get something straight. My dad and my brother are not bad people. No, they're a little bit entitled. You're the bad person. They're good people who made a mistake. Mistakes are mistakes. I get that, but you do have to pay it back. You have to make up for your mistakes. Otherwise, it's just you being an asshole. They couldn't pay back brother-in-law because he wanted almost $70,000. And again, we're not rich. Yes. Well, you should have thought about that before you asked for that industrial-grade machinery. You could have just hired the brother-in-law to do it. But no, you wanted it for free, and you took it. No matter what anyone said, you're like, I'm gonna have this. You should have just paid the brother-in-law to do the work on backyard. You're not rich, but your dad had to buy another truck because he needed it to go to work. You don't need a truck to go to work, you pavement princess. Okay? You don't need a truck. The f are you talking about? On the other hand, brother-in-law had 3 other sets of skid loaders and dump trailers on his lot that day, so he could take the financial hit. While my parents would be homeless. Don't do that you can't afford to make up for if you It doesn't matter that he had other machines on his lot. You really think you're entitled enough to think that Not only do you deserve this $70,000 piece of equipment, that it's okay if you just flush all that money down the toilet and impact his business and impact his life and his finances, because you have other expensive toys. I can break this expensive toy because you have those expensive toys. You're a brat. You're a stupid brat. My God. We'd be fighting. If you lived in my family, you'd have your beat. The cruise to Mexico isn't some millionaire trip. The total cost is about $3,000, and it'll take over 20 people to pay for that. Again, we're not rich.
Yeah, just cutting in because I misunderstood it, but I did the math and it's $60,000 that this cruise is. The skid loader that the guy said that he had was under $70,000. So, we're gonna be homeless. We can't pay that, but you can pay almost exactly that to put your parents on a trip. You guys could all pitch in. I guess you can afford it, huh? I guess it's kind of easy when you guys all come together and make up for the family's mistakes to afford something, huh? No 70K for you, only 70K for me. It's me the baby, me the princess, me get everything. OP, if you see this, I hope you stub your toe every day of your life.
But also, it's okay to want nice things for people. It doesn't mean you have to have it, you know? You can want your parents to have a luxury cruise. And you can understand that that's just not in the cards for you. It's not in the cards for me. I want to go to Greece. I can't afford that. I can't afford to go to Ireland. I can't afford to take a cruise. I'd like to do all those things. That's just how life is, okay? Sometimes we don't get what we want, and we especially don't get what we want when we owe someone $70,000. This is definitely the type of thing that you'd have to take a loan out for to pay him back. Like, if you were just a good person, you'd be taking out a loan to pay the guy back. I don't know what possessed the sister to be like, no, don't sue them. And I don't know how whipped he is in this situation to be like, oh, you're right, honey, I won't sue them. But yeah, I can see why you ended up on Am I the Devil? Long story short, my male 32 girlfriend, female 31, and I had just moved into an apartment together a few months ago, and I've been slacking on the cleaning. She hasn't really said anything, but I've noticed her saying things under her breath or making some comment during dinner. Okay, so she has said stuff numerous times. I'm not a misogynist. I know men gotta clean stuff too. I just never really did much of it. I mean, I cleaned, of course, just not like my neat freak girlfriend. You're not a misogynist. Not outwardly, at least. You are a misogynist in the way that you use weaponized incompetence to do all the misogyny, but like secretly. You can't even be like a full misogynist. You have to be the version of the misogynist. The one that's like, oh no, I don't know how to sweep a floor. You know who you are.
Oh no, I don't do it as well as you. Oh no, I don't do it the same way she does it, so I might as well just not do it at all, but I'm not a misogynist.
OP, the world sees through you. Anyways, I decided to clean the house before she got home from the gym, but I hadn't finished by the time she got home. Mind you, when she came home and saw what I was doing, she was really, really happy. I got a big smooch and the promise of some fun times after her shower. So naturally, I wanted to hurry up and get it done. Don't you love it when men have to be bribed with sex to do the bare minimum? Our bathroom is kind of big, so I figured I could sneak in while she was showering. The shower curtain is dark, so you can't even see through it, to get them cleaning done. I do have a tendency to get distracted, so while I was bringing in stuff to quickly clean the floor, I left my phone playing the podcast I was listening to in the other room. Not thinking, I just quickly mixed together some bleach and vinegar to get it cleaned fast. I know what you're thinking. Yes, I'm an idiot. I figured the vinegar would speed up the process. I didn't even think about how bad it smelled. Well, after I mixed it, I quickly went to grab my phone and turn the podcast off when I heard my girlfriend scream. I run back into the bathroom, but this thing was literally burning my eyes. She had this shower so hot, and she comes out fully naked, mind you, yelling and calling me an idiot and everything. She dumps the cleaning stuff down the drain and closed the bathroom door, literally freaking out at me. Again, she's butt naked, and we're at the living room at this point, with windows pointed at the courtyard. I don't think that's on the top of her mind right now. She went, "Oh my god, you are finally doing work. You're finally clean. You never do that. I'm so excited with you doing the bare minimum that I'm gonna give you a blowy afterwards. And you went, hi, yes. Yes, I like sex with my woman. So I'm gonna go chlorine gas my woman to death. You couldn't leave the alone to have a shower." Are you aware that if she had gotten severely ill, if she had ended up having to go to the hospital because of this, or if for whatever reason she died because of the literal chlorine gas bomb you put in her bathroom, are you aware that you would go to jail? Do you have any idea of what could have happened? I don't think anyone cares that she's butt-ass naked near the windows. Long story short, she's on the patio crying, and she told me she's not mad at me, but she needs time to heal, and I should probably drive around for a bit. So now I'm sitting in my car wondering, what the hell did I do to... What the hell did you do to upset her? You committed a war crime. You committed a war crime on her. That's what you did. That's illegal. That's illegal. What did you do? You war crimed her. You stupid. I'm scandalized. I'm fully scandalized. Oh, I only gassed her. What did I do? Happy fun. We take the anger up into our chest and we push it out, manifesting it into a curse that will make his balls get cancer. I hope you get ball cancer. The comments are great. I know what you're thinking, and yes, I'm an idiot. As the comments would reveal, he does not know what we are thinking. Oh, I also love too that he's like, oh, my eyes were burning. Not because of the chlorine gas I made, but because my wife takes such hot showers, such ridiculously hot showers, that it made my eyes burn and I couldn't breathe. There's no words for this. This is just crazy. TLDR, cheated on 2 exams during my last semester of university by obtaining a professor's login information and seeing the exams before they were given. You're a stupid motherfucker. Professor gave me an F in the course, but passed the information along to the higher-ups who subsequently expelled me. Yes. Yes. Yep. When I was in high school, obviously you would fail if you got, like, if you cheated on certain things. But then there were some tests where if you cheated on it, not only would you get in trouble, you could get expelled, and it would immediately be sent to future colleges for a, hey, don't take this person. They cheat a lot and they plagiarize. So why are you surprised by this? What the do you think was going to happen? I will be appealing my case, yes, because you are the victim here. Remember, you are always the victim, especially when you're the villain. I have a few more days to send in an appeal letter. After I send in my appeal, I am entitled, based on code of conduct, to a hearing in front of the dean. I have contacted an attorney who is looking at everything. You just wasted money. Because you cheated, you wasted money. You know what the attorney's gonna do? He's gonna look at you and say, I can't do for you. You cheated. I want to know what the best course of action is to make my chances as strong as possible in getting my sanctions lessened. Location is United States. Good luck with that, my guy. If there's any justice in the world, blessed Zeus will not let you get out of this, okay? You. The course I cheated in was not a major course. I completed all of my major courses by merit, and this is my first cheating offense. Right, but it is a big one, okay? It is a big one. You hacked into your professor's account. It's not just a normal cheating thing. I have never been accused of misconduct or wrongdoing in my 4 years at this university. Doesn't mean you haven't done it. If you're okay with, like, breaking into your professor's account to steal stuff, to pass a test that you could easily just study for, I guarantee you've done other stuff, you just haven't been caught. First and foremost, I have reached out to an attorney who has recommended me a few things, but I wanted to come here as well for any and all advice. Throwaway account for obvious reasons. Backstory. Sometime in February, I planted a camera behind the keyboard in the classroom where my professor lectured. Once she typed in her login information, I was able to view the video and obtain her login information to use for my own personal benefit. On dozens of occasions, I have logged in using the professor's login information, so this is more than just once, by the way. Also, if you're going to have a hearing and legal proceedings, maybe don't admit to the crime on a platform which is well known for having the content taken and being made into YouTube videos and TikTok videos. I feel like we know what happens on Reddit into Reddit stories at this point. On dozens of occasions, I've logged on using the professor's login information on school computers, in labs that have cameras, and viewed exams, past labs, and even changed my own grade in the course. This isn't just a single offense. The first exam around late March, I had seen the answer key prior to taking the exam, and naturally got 100% on the exam. No suspicion was raised by the professor. I continued to view answer keys prior to the next exam, which was taken in late April. My exams were very identical to the answer keys. I had noted that the professor changed her password after the second exam when I went to log in again, so I put the camera back in the same place as the first time. However, this time, at some point during the video, it shows her looking directly at the camera, implying she did indeed see it. Think he's Sly Cooper or something. You're not that slick. Cameras are noticeable. Me, man. You're fine. Mommy and daddy paid your way into this goddamn school, and you don't think you have to do any work, and you're a that's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna have to bleep out a lot of words on this video. In the beginning of May, about a week after the second exam, my professor came up to me after class and asked me to come with her to the department chair's office. When I sat down, the department chair told me that there was a strong suspicion of me cheating on exams 1 and 2, and asked if there was anything I wanted to tell them. I said, I admit I cheated on them. That's all I said. I did not admit how I cheated. Afterwards, he asked me how I cheated, to which I did not respond, digging my grave deeper. They had me sign a form essentially stating that I admitted to cheating and that they were going to pass along the information to the Academic Affairs Committee for further investigation and potentially further sanctions on top of an F in the course. About a week later, a police officer from the university came to my apartment and asked me to come with him. He drove me to the campus police station, where I was asked about illegal computer usage. An hour later, the Academic Affairs Office, I was informed verbally I was going to be expelled from the university. A day later, I received a letter reiterating the fact that I had been expelled. The letter says that I will not get a degree and cannot participate in graduation, and cannot be readmitted to the university now or in the future. The steps I am taking for this. I do like that he's just writing out in great detail everything that he's done and everything that he plans to do. It's not going through his mind at all that maybe he should be secretive with any of this. No, just admit to it outright. His legal proceedings, just admit to everything on Reddit, it'll be fine. Historically, nothing bad has ever happened when you admit to every single crime you've committed online. The university allows students to appeal the decision within 5 days of receiving the letter, which I am going to be doing. Essentially, the appeal that I have written states that I admit my actions were egregious and that I felt so much pressure to pass the course and felt awful when I cheated, even before I got caught. I said that I wanted to fess up and didn't know how, and that when I was confronted, I did not at all try to justify my actions, hide them, or lie. I came clean completely, and the burden was finally off. In my appeal, I am respectfully asking for my sanctions to be lessened to at most a suspension from the university so that I can still graduate, albeit not on time. Why do people think that just admitting that they did stuff will let them get off scot-free or let them get off with a lesser thing? Because I've seen a lot of like videos of police arrests and stuff, and I've also been around children who do this all the time. Like, they do something horrible, something bad, and they're like, well, I told you, so you can't be mad now. Well, you can't be mad because I told you I came clean. I didn't try to hide it, so it's okay. No, it just means that you admit that you did the thing. It doesn't show remorse saying that you came clean. It just says that you don't have remorse. You can easily say, yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did that. Let me go scot-free. That's what this says. I have not yet sent the letter, as I have a few more days to submit the appeal, and I am waiting for my attorney to look at the letter tomorrow and give me any advice. The reason I got an attorney was so that I could either A, heavily grovel, an attorney cannot be present during the hearing, and the attorney would just help me before I go in, or B, sue the school and saying the sanctions are too harsh. I will not be denying my actions. The school has sufficient proof that I used the professor's login credentials for my own benefit. I have to come clean and just hope the school shows mercy. If the appeal does not go well, I will resort to plan B, which is getting the attorney directly involved. Any advice on what I should say during the hearing or anything else I should do, you should just give up. Take the L, you stupid. Apply for a different university. Hope that they let you in after what they did, because this is insane. You don't you're not remorseful. You don't give a that you did what you did. You're upset that you got caught. And the fact that you're like, let me off light, otherwise I'm gonna get my attorney involved. Like, you and the rich-ass family that spat you out. Ugh. God knows whatever hole you fell out of as a PTA mom and a HOA lead or whatever the called. You're an asshole. Education is wasted on people like this. I cannot tolerate or handle any more from this subreddit today. I think I'm gonna pop a blood vessel. Well, that was the video. Thank you for watching the video. Yes, this is a pre-recorded ending so that I stop forgetting to put them into the videos. If you like what you just saw, leave a like, comment, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. If you hate it, let me know that you hate it. Any interaction at all helps me in the algorithm. I am but a very teeny channel, but if you want to support me, there will be links in the description for a Patreon. There will be a free tier and tiers from $5 up. Basically, it's just a place to find informations on upcoming videos. You can suggest what type of stuff you want to see there. And of course, if you want to support me, you can support me in this economy so I could put out a video more than every 15 days, which seems to be the current schedule. If you want to see more of my stuff, there's going to be something on the screen showing you to my latest video and the video that you are most likely to like from my channel, so go and check those out and support the channel. Y'all are awesome. I'll see you when I see you.